Since the beginning of the conflict, Ukraine has been struggling to maintain its territorial integrity and protect its sovereignty against Russian aggression. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 was followed by the emergence of separatist movements in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions of eastern Ukraine, where pro-Russian rebels declared independent republics. These rebels were supported by Russian troops and equipment, although Russia officially denies any involvement in the conflict. Despite diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict, the situation on the ground has remained tense, with frequent ceasefire violations and sporadic fighting. Both sides accuse each other of violating the Minsk agreements, a peace plan signed in 2015 that aimed to end the conflict and restore Ukrainian control over the separatist-held territories. The Minsk agreements have failed to bring lasting peace, and a new ceasefire agreement signed in July 2020 has also been largely ignored. The conflict has taken a heavy toll on the civilian population, with thousands of people killed and many more displaced. The United Nations estimates that more than 13,000 people have been killed since the conflict began, and more than 1.5 million people have been forced to flee their homes. The war has also damaged infrastructure and disrupted essential services, such as healthcare and education. The war has also had wider regional and international implications. Russia's actions in Ukraine have led to a deterioration in its relations with the West, with the European Union and the United States imposing sanctions on Russia in response. The conflict has also raised concerns about the security of other countries in the region, such as Georgia and Moldova, which have also experienced Russian aggression. As the conflict continues, the question of how it will end remains unanswered. Some analysts believe that a negotiated settlement is still possible, but it would require both sides to make significant concessions. Others fear that the conflict could escalate into a wider war involving other countries in the region. One possible solution is a peacekeeping mission by the United Nations or the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE. Such a mission would require the consent of both Ukraine and Russia and could provide a neutral third party to oversee the implementation of a ceasefire and other measures to end the conflict. In any case, the war has already caused too much suffering and destruction. It is imperative that both sides find a way to end the conflict and work towards a peaceful and sustainable solution that respects the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Ukraine, while also addressing the legitimate concerns of all parties involved. The international community must continue to support efforts to end the conflict and provide assistance to those affected by the war. Only through dialogue and cooperation can a lasting peace be achieved in Ukraine and the wider region.